Hello, Professor Carter. This is my video discussion of the core chain theory and practice. My name is Liliam Puycan, and today I'm going to talk about exploring organizational chain, a critical review of the triple bottom line theory. Okay, let's get started. So in this first slide, I'm sharing how my presentation is structured, is the agenda of this presentation. I will start talking about the introduction, then I will discuss about the theory, then I will analyze the case of study, then I will explain the limitation, and finally, I will share the conclusions. As an introduction, the triple bottom line theory is an holistic approach that radically changed the traditional business model. The three bottom line is a theory that emphasizes integrated three main concepts, or aspects, economic, social, and environmental, that contribute to company sustainable development. In this context, business leaders are increasingly concerned about responding to societal challenge by modifying their business model as part of a competitive strategy. Additionally, the United Nations developed the Sustainable Development Goals to encourage executives to introduce change by developing strategies that positively impact the society and align with the United Nations agenda. So to generate a long-term impact is required that produce achieve from the traditional to more holistic business approach and require a change in a personal mindset and mentality in employees and leaders. Therefore, the presentation aims to explain how the triple bottom line theory contributes to organizational change. So in the next slide, I'm going to talk more about the triple bottom line theory. So the triple bottom line theory is a theoretical framework that combines the traditional business model with social responsibility principles. The triple bottom line theory was developed by John Atkinson Thompson in the 90s, and this approach has evolved into a cornerstone for corporate sustainable strategy and public policy framework. So because the business world is constantly evolving, requiring companies to adopt a holistic approach to generate sustainable organizational change over time, this theory is a business approach that emphasizes an organizational commitment to developing a social and environmental impact, and in addition to its financial performance that is solely focused on generating profit. In addition, the triple bottom line aims to explain how organizations can radically change the way they understand, measure, and evaluate their business performance. Okay, so this theory highlights three main components that I'm going to explain in the next slide. Several authors refer to the triple bottom line theory as the 3P. So because combine three main components, the people, planet, and profit. People refers to the society, social impact. Planet refers to environment, and profit refers an economical aspect or economic element. So, for example, in people, that is people refers to the social element. This theory increases the social impact, the social relevance of an organization. And also planet, there is the other component, that is the environmental component or environmental element. This theory emphasizes on impacting positively in nature. Reducing the impact negative in nature. And finally, profit, which is the economical element. So this theory believes there is not only focus on financial gain. So the traditional business model is more focused on generating revenues for companies, despite the negative impact in people or society and planet. We can see, for example, in the pollution or maybe all producing products that also impact in the health of people. So now there are more companies that are concerned about people and also nature on combining, integrating these three elements in their business model. So, okay. Let's talk about this company, so Tesla. This is a real-world application. The triple bottom line theory emphasizes that organizational change begins with a leader bottom line mentality, which in turn in general achieved in the employees and team bottom line mentality. For example, we can see in the manufacturing vehicle industry, this theory has demonstrated its relevance in leading innovation by producing change in more eco-friendly product and introducing change also in the process. Now, for example, there are more executive and more managers that are concerned about the pollution and producing negative impact, producing less negative impact in the environment. So one of the most successful case in this manufactured vehicle industry is Tesla. Tesla is an example, a corporation whose strategy consists on having its customer in the first place and working with the stakeholder to develop clean energy that respond to the climate change crisis. So now we can see that this company is leading this type of innovation in the vehicular industry. So one of the most important key components is the role of leadership. In this case, for example, the CEO, Elon Musk, it has a vital participation in this company because he developed an innovative company focused on generating innovative and creative ideas and also fostering innovative culture inside the company. However, there are some criticisms in his leadership because of their behavior in unethical practices. For example, when they in the business practices, for example, when they pressure too much to workers to work for a lot of hours, and then the unfair equity gender in the company. So let's talk about now the limitation of this theory. A limitation of this theory is that it's not an organizational change theory. So it doesn't include a specific procedure for introducing change successfully. This theory don't provide a specific procedure step by step to introduce a change on individual level, just only try to focus on the necessity or including integrating three elements. Another limitation of the triple bottom line theory is the viability. Several studies have argued that the weakness of the triple bottom theory is finding that balance between the three main aspects: economic, social, and environmental. So managers see them like a pressure to choose only one and sacrifice others. And lastly, diverse authors have emphasized the weakness of the triple line theory is the ambiguity in this measurement. So the model is not able to provide a specific metric indicators to measure their company's organizational goals. So, okay, so the conclusion of this presentation and this theory is a triple bottom line theory is a modern construct that aims to change the traditional business model to the most sustainable and combining three main components or dimension. That is the society, social part, a social element or people, environmental or environment, the nature, and profit, that is the economical element. So as the second conclusion is the triple bottom line theory emphasized in organizational change at the individual level, focusing the cognitive process and mentality, and the role of leader to drive the change. We talk about how Elon Musk, for example, is leading in the change in the vehicle in this industry, so more eco-friendly products. electric car, for example. No, there is Tesla. And the last conclusion is the triple bottom line theory include the ambiguity in its metrics. I mean, failure to explain the organizational change and its effectiveness is not widely validated. So there are necessity to test this theory in other contexts. For example, many research have demonstrated that this theory is validated in development countries, but what about other contexts? So, for example, a poor country. So, okay. This slide I'm sharing. Finally, the reference I'm going to include in this presentation. And thank you for your attention.